Hey everybody, it's Nick, it's Jay. We've just finished the Sears Pointless race at Sonoma, the first of 2 races at Sonoma Raceway this year, and it was busier than usual.
Yeah, it was busy for a lot of reasons, not least of which we had Hooptie-Con, the first one ever. Hooptie-Con is this new thing we're doing where we invite lots of wackadoodle other car groups to come and do their stuff, and this time we had Billetproof, Conqueror's Lemons, Radwood, super awesome. We had a barbecue cook-off contest, we had movies and videos, all kinds of stuff. It was really fun.
Yeah, and we're going to recap all of that on a lemonsworld episode coming soon.
Yeah, this was also the first race for our big new tire sponsor, Yokohama. We actually like them because unlike all other sponsors, they're not annoying.
Yeah, and having their gigantic race transporter in the paddock really made the whole thing feel like real racing. You know, which it was.
Hella sweet, you know we've got the air freshener penalty. Well, this time we found bourbon-flavored air fresheners because, you know, that's what you want a race car to smell like.
Hella sweet, our friend Conrad Stevenson, he brought back the legendary Altamont veteran Alpha Spider Lemons car, and I actually got to drive for the first time in a long time in a Lemons race, and I have to say...
How'd that work out?
It went well. You know, I wasn't setting any lap records, but I gotta say I was impressed with the general quality of courtesy and driving, and you know, some guys were going really quick, and I was very impressed with that. But since I personally wasn't very fast, I had to then turn the car over to 1997 American Cities Racing League champion, Jeff Glenn.
I wonder if that's still a Spica car, because the power delivery on that is very unpredictable.
The tire pressure differential between the right front corner and the left rear corner created an imbalance.
Their lack of FIA flagging out of 8A after that incident really caught me off guard.
I suspect that the welded spider gears contributed.
Maxing out the Lemons limit of 24 gallons.
There was a shift in the headwind that caught me by surprise.
It really upsets the polar moment of inertia.
You know, I think people crash more at the sharp corner. Speaking of real racers, Rattlesnake Electric Sport, who has previously run a Prius, they brought a Javelin, a real Javelin to this thing, and they built the hell out of it. It was gorgeously prepared. We put it in Class C because it's a Javelin. Well, there was a huge outcry, which is to say, Matt Adair and Steve. By that means everybody. So they wound up getting pushed back into A. I thought that was ridiculous.
Yeah, and regardless of the classing, their final results, they wouldn't have won no bloody A, B, C, or D. So if you've been paying attention to Lemons on the internet, you know that Judge Phil has recently gotten into vintage cameras and black and white photography. And I get it, because these days with post-production and digital imaging and rendering and so on and so forth, it's gotten really complicated, not like the simpler times of yore.
Now this camera here, this here is a pure 120 camera from like 1919. Of my ancient cameras, this one actually takes the best pictures of the really old ass cameras. See, it just goes right in there. Just get a piece of sandpaper, you go, turn around. You know, how's the barrel distortion?
The barrel distortion is fine.
You know, you and your 50s camera, I mean, that's not nearly old enough. I bet you've never grown a handlebar mustache either. And how many gears are on your bike? You know, I think Lee Harvey Oswald used one of these to establish the distance. You know, how far will the bullet drop?
I mean, otherwise you don't
If
know
you
how
think
far.
he did it.
I thought hella sweet was the fact that finally Hella Shitty won a race. They've been trying forever. Their BMW finally took it. It was great. Also, I'm just going to mention in Class C, Anton once again walked away with that in his white Volvo. He was 153rd fastest lap out of 171 cars. Still won handily.
The Blue Oak School was back. This is the team of middle schoolers. The teachers and faculty and parents race the car, and they have this 12-year-old child slave labor to prepare it.
So much wrong with all of that.
So they have a new car. It's a modern Audi. It looked crappy because a chimney fell on it.
As they do.
And it ran crappy because it was a modern Audi.
As they do.
And the whole thing, it sputtered around and it disappointed all the children.
Well, speaking of disappointed children, how about the team from CU Boulder?
Yeah, well, the Buffs did better than these guys, Laser Goat, in their stock Ford F-150. I think they did about 20 yards, but the cool thing about these guys was they found out about Lemons from going to the Alameda 4th of July parade, where Lemons has now had a pretty consistent presence. And it's a real crowd favorite because we drive down the street, we drive through the horse manure on purpose, we crash into each other. The kids just love it. Lost Gear brought a Suzuki Aereo, known in other parts of the world as a Suzuki Liana, which is known to Top Gear fans as the original reasonably priced car.
I prefer the Kim Jong Elantra. Last but not least on the Hella Sweets, I just want to mention that Jay St. Clair, one of our racers, now his parents eloped long ago in a Bug-Eye Sprite. Of course, they had kids then, and they had to sell the Bug-Eye Sprite, and they moved on with their life. Well, now Jay is a big grown-up man, and he wanted to do something nice for his parents, so he bought them a Bug-Eye Sprite from Dick McClure, who had restored it, and presented it to them at the Saturday drivers meeting. It was very sweet.
Judge's choice went to Chris Overzet and Pit Crew Revenge. Now remember those hopeless kids from CU Boulder? Well, they had raced a horrible Cavalier last year at HPR. They figured, screw this, we're going to get a Miata, it'll run great.
It's going to work great.
Yeah, it ran not really much at all, and they banged their heads against the wall trying to fix it. Finally, Chris felt bad for them, lent them his old Civic Wagavan, let them race it for free, just so they'd get some track time. Judges thought that was great, gave it the award to Chris.
The I Got Screwed award was easy. I just went to Yokohama. They gave us a whole bunch of money, and as far as I can tell, we're not doing anything in return.
Heroic Fix went to Veteran Racers, Rotary Rooter, their Mazda RX-7. They crashed bad. They hit the wall. It looked totally
They
hopeless.
totaled both sides of the car.
Yeah, and they wrenched all weekend, and at the end of the day on Sunday, they got back on track. Heroic.
The special award was the Most Sacrilegious Porsche Trophy, and we gave it to these guys who have a 944, they have a small block Chevy motor, knowing all of that, they said, you know what we're going to do? We're going to put the whole front end of a Chevy C30 step-side pickup truck onto this car, and it looked totally awesome. The car was also pretty fast, and I just got to mention, one of their guys, Brad Bellett, he is a professional plumber, and he even came over one day and fixed our sink. So, well done, guys.
Organizer's choice went to what used to be called the Bavarian Brougham, which is a BMW E36 that had a Cadillac grille on the front. They have updated the look, and now their team is called the 70s Called, and they want their camper back. And this is the same E36,
So good.
but with an El Dorado camper on the top, which is based entirely on their actual 1970s RV/tow vehicle. And they did the whole thing up with a camping theme, cans of Cam's beer, vintage down vests, and the whole
Costumes,
look.
they had a little outdoor shower on one side of it that worked.
One of the few Lemons cars, let alone a top 5 running Lemons car that has a functioning shower.
Yeah.
The whole thing was awesome. Organizers.
My favorite part is that they had windows open and the little curtains in the windows of the camper flapping in the breeze. And the index of effluency went to Low Road Racing. We have seen this car before. It's an old Sunbird H-body, I believe, done up like a 3/4 scale NASCAR car of period. Looks great. The guys are great. They ran a really clean race. They finished quite well for an H-body Sunbird. And there's something unique about this engine that I believe Nick knows about.
I was talking to one of the team members, and it's got a 3.8 V6, but it's a 3.8 odd fire.
I don't even know what the hell that means.
Yeah, I nodded like I knew what the hell he was talking about.
Yeah.
But he said that when they got the engine running finally, it was running great, and it would pull fine, and then it would hit 4,000 RPM and wouldn't rev any further. It's like, what the hell? And the carburetor, the ignition, the exhaust, so on and so forth. Finally looked it up online, and the red line for that motor is like 3,800 RPM. So that's why it would not rev past 4,000.
Here is Lemons in a nutshell.
Peanut butter jelly.
The generator fell out.
What do you make of this?
It's just too much speed and awesomeness.
The actual reason I crashed was I didn't attend the rookie meeting.
No bloody A, B, C, or D.